All right, some breaking news coming in at this moment. Kolar has in fact shut down over the death of the whistleblower IAS. Shops have in fact been closed. Heavy police deployment has taken place in Kolar as there is anger over the upright IAS officer's death. The police has deployed section 144 in Kolar district. 144 essentially means that a congregation of more than 5 people is illegal. That seems to be the situation in Kolar at this moment. We have Pratibha Raman joining us with all the latest. Morning, Pratibha. Just take us through what really is happening in Kolar at this moment. There seems to be a groundswell of support for this IAS officer.
Right. In fact, Sanket, when he was serving as the district commissioner of Kolar, he was quite a popular figure there because having earned the reputation of being an honest and upright officer, most of them were opposed to the idea of his transfer. And that happened 4 months ago when he had taken on the sand mafia as well as the real estate. The political tycoons had in fact ordered for his transfer, and the public had protested at that point in time. It was in fact the same kind of protest but in manifold measures that we experienced yesterday night, and night through there was strong protests with tires being burnt and heavy police deployment that has been ordered for today to make sure that there is safety as well as security and the law and order is in control. In fact, there is section 144 that's been imposed, schools, colleges closed, and no vehicle movements there, no public transport that has been moving around there in that particular district, and the shops are also closed, but huge posters of DK Ravi that has been put up, and that's the kind of support that DK Ravi as well as his family enjoyed.
Now, Pratibha, what have we learned in terms of police investigation? So far, the commissioner of the police as well as the Karnataka police, in fact, has come out and said that this appears to be a case of suicide. Has there been any investigation to perhaps reveal that this particular IAS officer was under some pressure?
Well, in fact, prima facie, yes, the police have said that this appears to be a case of suicide, but then key questions like what has driven him to commit this suicide, because he is not a person to neglect his duty, not a person to come back home during the working hours, but then eyewitnesses as well as the neighbors have said that he came back at around 11 a.m. yesterday. What could have led him to come back home? These are some of the questions that still remain to be answered. Plus, right now, the postmortem of DK Ravi is also being conducted, plus circumstantial evidence, plus data in terms of the cell phone data that has been collected from the victim's residence. All these are going to be analyzed by the police to make sure that this is just a case of suicide. Was there a threat perception, or was it a murder that was covered up? So these are some of the lines of investigation that is proceeding towards it. But then prima facie, yes, this is a case of suicide, but then they're not leaving any stone unturned.
Pratibha Raman, many thanks for joining us at this moment. In fact, a young IAS officer who earned the reputation of being an honest officer and took on the sand mafia was found dead at his apartment in Bengaluru last evening. Now, 36-year-old DK Ravi was found hanging in his flat at around 6:30 p.m. when his wife entered the house. The police say a case of suicide is suspected. However, no suicide note has been recovered. Reports are also emerging that 3 unidentified men entered Ravi's flat yesterday. Now, Ravi had earned a reputation of a no-nonsense officer during his earlier stint as the Deputy Commissioner of Kolar district in southern Karnataka. The officer had been hailed as a hero for his work in the region and was involved in several standoffs with local politicians and even the superintendent of police for taking on the sand mafia. Following the simmering differences in Kolar, Ravi was transferred to Bengaluru on the 29th of October 2014 by the government. In his tenure, Ravi has ensured collection of taxes to the tune of over 100 crore rupees and has forced several top builders and jewelers in Bengaluru to pay up their dues.
Investigations into the cause of the death indicate that this is a case of suicide, prima facie. The investigation into further details about the nature of the incident, exact time of death, etc. are being conducted. inquest proceedings have to take place before we can come to any conclusive understanding of